Good day, everyone. This is Shondell coming to you today with my Sandalwood Geranium Mixed Essential Oil Soap. So the other day when I actually did the video of me making the soap, I'm so sorry, but the video cut off because the memory card was full, and as well as the battery was low. So I will be sure next soaping video to make sure that that's all taken care of. But anyway, let me go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and take this out of the paper and get ready to cut it. And it's not too soft, actually. It's a good consistency to cut. And it's been about maybe, I don't know, maybe 11 or 12 hours or so since I made this soap. And before I go ahead and begin, I'm going to go ahead and trim some of the edges off. That just makes it easier for me later. And I reuse the edges as soap balls, or add it to like to another like confetti kind of soap, or better yet, I use it to wash delicate clothes. So everything is repurposed, nothing goes to waste here. It smells great. It seems like the sandalwood actually didn't come out as strong as I thought it would. I think the geranium definitely is much more prevalent in this soap. So I think I was hoping more so of like a even tone of the two, but the geranium definitely took over. But nevertheless, it's a very nice smelling soap. Okay, so to make things a little bit easier, I'm actually going to cut that in half because I don't want to work with it as a whole bar. So I'm just going to cut it right in half to just make life a little bit more simple. Okay. Alright, so now we can begin the cutting. And I'm actually going to leave it on the paper, so sorry guys if this looks a little bit junky, which it is, but it just makes it easier for my countertops. So I'll just push all this trimmings to the side, and what I'll do now is I'm actually going to take my loaves and put them on the tray, at least for the moment. There's another little piece. I think it makes it life so much easier if it's trimmed just a little bit for the really bad areas before the soap starts to dry. Okay. And I'll come back and I'll get all the extras that came out of that a little bit later. So now I'm going to move the soap back to right here so that I can actually work with it. Much better, right? And so hopefully, let me do a screen check. You guys can see. Okay, so now I can begin trimming. And what I'm using today is my cheese cutter. I think this one is great to trim soap. And this is a really nice vegan soap. This is going to get trimmed off, but let me trim a little piece and then I'll let you guys see a close-up. I'm going to go ahead and trim off this end. And here is a piece of it. See that brown or tannish? It's actually going to darken up. That is actually cocoa powder with a little bit of molasses, so all natural. This is a vegan soap. It has the little pinkish peach is red clay, and then it's a high shea butter soap. So it's vegan, but it's very, very moisturized, and this is going to be a nice, creamy, rich, soothing soap that will actually help with those who have dry skin. It should definitely help to alleviate the dryness. Okay, so what I do is I actually just take those little crumbles and put them to the side. And I'll show you another piece. So hopefully these are hibiscus flowers too, as I was doing in the soaping video. I don't think that came through all the way, but I was trying to show you guys that I had, or tell you guys that I had grown my hibiscus flowers organically in my garden. And I've dried them and saved them. So I am using them in this soap. So here's another piece right there. And the pink is actually coming through. I think I may change it to the side because you see how the drag marks came through with the cutter. But that rose clay actually turned out to be pink, which is rare because usually it turns out to be more of like a creamy sort of orangish pinkish sort of color, like more like a clay looking color. But I'm not complaining. I actually think it's quite pretty. Okay, so I'm going to change this cutting angle to the side and see how this goes. I actually need to bring it up a little bit. And I'm cutting the bars at 1 inch thickness. That's better. Very pretty. I really, really like that clay in there. I think that made a really nice bar. Very nice. And like I said, the tan will definitely darken. And I'll have pictures at the end so you guys can see it. I'll wait a couple of days before I take the pictures so you can see how the cocoa powder along with the mix with the molasses will actually darken over time. It starts out a little bit light, so sometimes when you're making soap with molasses, you may say, oh, I need a lot more because the color's not there, but it does take a couple of days and then the color comes through. But this is such a nice, soft, creamy soap. I can feel it now. Like I said, it's been about maybe 11 or 12 hours or so. And yeah, it's definitely so soft. That one cut a little crooked, so I'll have to fix that. I think it has a lot to do with the petals. That's a really nice piece right there. Can you guys see that? Love that pink, brown, and cream color. So pretty. And I'm a lefty, so I tried putting the camera to the other way, but I think this side is better. But we'll see. I'll play with it. Maybe the next video I'll move it to the opposite end. That looks like that's going to cut right into my flowers. Try not to put too much pressure on it because I don't want to make indentations with my fingers. That cut right in half my hibiscus flower. Ooh, that's pretty. Look at that design. Very nice. Ooh, this one's even prettier, I think. And this is a great consistency to cut. I can't wait to watch it mature as it cures. So bye-bye little petal, my little hibiscus petal. And that looks like that too will cut right into the middle. Okay. I had to move it over just a little bit to ensure that I can save some of the petals per bar. Ooh, I love those swirls. Very pretty. I love how it's like the tan, the cream, and the pink. Very nice. And this side, I don't know. The back side seems to be just as pretty, if not prettier. Love that. And you can actually smell some of the other essential oils in there too, but the most prevalent is the geranium. And it's just amazing how essential oils have gone up in price. Okay, this is that one that I cut in half, so I need to cut that little end piece off. Still a little rough there, but I can fix that later. Oh, that's gorgeous. I love pastels. But like I said, that brown, that tan color will definitely darken up a little bit. But the cocoa powder mixed with the molasses made a nice, pretty color, actually. Very impressed. And I'm looking forward to the spring to growing more herbs. I have 3 hibiscus plants. Well, I have more than 3 actually. I have about 5, but they have 3 different colors. And the colors that I have is like one is a double. It blooms double blossoms, and it's a pretty like mauve rose color. It's gorgeous in this, and they bloom late in the season, so I'm able to collect my hibiscus petals in like September. August it usually starts early August, and then they're finishing up September, October. Some even go as up until the last frost. But I have 2 different types of plants. One is a double, and then the other one is a singular. And the singular actually, singular blossoms, that is. So the petals only bloom one. The other one has double. So like there's 2 rings around it. So the singular, I actually have that in 3 colors. I have it in white with a rose-like center. And then I have it in pink. And I also have it in like a purplish blue, which are these, the darker petals there. And then the double one is like that mauve sort of rose color. So most of these are all from the singular plants. Yeah, I don't have any. No, this one actually is the double. And this is from the singular. The double, you see how it's like turned to like a purplish? And that's how I can tell, because it's more of that deep, when it's fresh, it's that deep mauve color. But they are beautiful plants. Beautiful, beautiful plants. And I'm just so thankful that I'm able to, I forgot to turn this to the side. Sorry, guys. I'm so thankful that I'm able to grow most of the herbs myself. I love gardening. It's like, this is like my second passion, soaping, but gardening is like my first passion. So this is just natural for me to be able to use my herbs and my petals from my garden into the soaps and get to share with you guys. So I do all the hard work, all the hard labor for you, so that you can bathe in blissness. Is that a word? Or bathe in total bliss, rather, with natural, soothing products that are great for your skin, created with you in mind. That's pretty much what we do here at Luxury Naturals. I'm always thinking of how I can help my customers and how I can utilize nature more so that I can make nice, soothing products. And to help someone, it's just like, you know, it gives my heart a nice warmness. If I could do this for free, I probably would. That's just how I feel about it, but I have to pay for the oils and everything else, so it's not cost effective, but I love, love, love sharing. I mean, that's like the joy of life, you know, being able to pass along something to others. So I do hope you guys enjoy this soap, as well as my other soaps. Another beauty right there. Love that. Looks like little petals itself. See that? That looks like a petal, and then a big one. Gorgeous. Yes, it does smell very, very nice. More petals. And none of this will go to waste. Like I said, everything will get reused. When I'm done cutting the soaps, I make a mess. Yes, I do. But I always clean up and I make reuse of everything. Everything is reused. Nothing, nothing, nothing will go to waste. So that one cut deeply into the petal. I should have brought it over a little bit more. But it didn't mess up the soap too much. That's the tricky part with cutting with herbs on the top. It's just like a casualty of war in a sense. Because as you cut it, it gets in the way in a sense. But it's still very pretty. More petals. It's a rainy day here in Maryland, so I'm cutting again at night. It seems like I do most of my videos at night, so hopefully it's not too dark for you guys to view thoroughly. That's why I always try to put pictures at the end, so that you can see the clarity of the design and of the texture of the soap very well. And me as a video watcher as well, I really appreciate it when people make stuff and then they have videos and they show the final product at the end. So I try to do that. Yay! I cut one without actually being able to cut any flowers. But it did make a little dent there. Love that design on the back side. Are you guys able to see when I hold this here like that? I sure hope so. Haven't been checking. So I probably have about 1, 2, 3 bars left. I'm going to see if I can cut this one without actually cutting into the petals. This one's tricky. I did not think to space them out, like, you know, to mark when I did the video. Normally I try to mark the sides so that I don't have to worry about cutting into it. But I rushed a little bit when the video cut off, and being that it was my first time actually showing you guys how I make the soap. So with practice it gets better, right? Like they say, practice makes perfect. Or at least near perfect, because nobody's perfect. More petals. Another pretty one. And I always clean up the bars additionally. It just helps when I'm cutting it originally just to clean off. You see how I cleaned off that end? That makes it a lot easier during the cleanup process. So I need to make a little bit more room. So that I can cut these last few bars. And this tray here is the soap's home for the next 3 to 4 weeks. And what I do is I rotate the soap around it and it dries and cures and hardens up and becomes a nice firm bar of soap. I'll sell it as early as 4 weeks, but my goal is to actually let most of my bars cure for at least 6 weeks. Because I do believe the longer that they get a chance to cure, the better the soap is. And to prove that, I actually found some soaps from when I first started making soaps. The recipe has changed drastically, but nevertheless, they were very nice soaps. And I started to use them recently. And nothing that I was going to sell. This is a little end piece. These are going to get cut, and I'll show you that in the middle. But nonetheless, they were actually really, really nice hard bars, and actually so creamy. The scent dissipated because essential oils and fragrance oils, you should technically use them within 6 months to really enjoy the scent. But since I do use the herbs are in the soaps, so you'll still get the goodness of the actual herb that saponifies with the soap, but the scent may just, not be as strong. So that is the last full cut bar. So yeah, so basically soaps are, I always say that, but soaps are like fine wine. As they age, they get better and better. And, so that is the reason why. And what happens is, just so you guys know, those that may not know, is when a soap ages, like right now, when I made this soap, it was a blend of oil, lye, and water. And as it saponifies, that chemical structure changes. The ions, the bonds, the atoms change, and it saponifies, and it becomes a new atom. And so that is soap. And at that time, what happens is when it's changed to soap, the soap has to cure and draw out the water in the bar, which causes it to be harder. And then that curing process, it makes it nice and smooth and creamy and solidifies everything to make your bar soap. And the difference between store-bought and handmade soaps is they actually accelerate that process by adding chemicals to the soaps and adding hardeners and detergents. So that's why often people have allergies when they're using store-bought soaps and don't realize and assume that, oh, I just got eczema, oh, I got this. But it's a lot of the times it's the detergents and the extra chemicals that they add into the soaps so that it can be a harder soap. In addition to that, they take out the glycerin. And what's going on with handmade natural soaps is the glycerin is being retained. So as you wet the soap again, once it's cured and dried, you will see that glycerin, which will come out onto your skin and draw humectants from the air to moisturize your skin. And most store-bought soaps are lacking that. Dove seems to add back the moisture after they've extracted it out. But yeah, and we don't do that with handmade soaps. You have everything that you need already in that bar. So it's a nice bar from the start. And the only thing that it needs is just a cure. And, we allow our soaps to cure, handmade soaps to cure for you, instead of rushing that process. So, there was an old saying, I forget the whole thing, but anything rushed is not worth the effort. You should just allow it to progress slowly. And that goes with a lot of things in life, As you're learning something new, don't rush it. Just progress with it and allow it to happen, and gradually you will get there. And the same thing is with soaps. Just allow it to cure, be patient, and it'll get there. Okay, everyone, so this is my essential oil, clay, molasses, and cocoa powder, geranium, sandalwood, essential oil blend soap. There are other essential oils, but those two are the most prevalent, sandalwood and geranium. Okay, so the pictures will follow at the end of this video, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Until the next time, have a great day. Bye-bye.